is organ donation all about?
Organ donation is all about the fact that when we die, then our organs can be used to help somebody else who is waiting so that they can have the life-saving gift.
So how important is it?
We've got over 1,500 people around Australia waiting for an organ donation, and those people generally will die without that donation. So they may have had cystic fibrosis, heart conditions, liver conditions that make it impossible for their organs to continue.
And when it comes to the types of organs and tissues, what kinds of things can people, donate?
Okay, so what we need to look at is solid organs, we call them. So the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, and we've got 2 of those, so that can help 2 people. Also pancreas can be donated as well. Then people can also donate tissue, so that's corneas of their eyes, skin, bone and musculoskeletal tissue, which is used in repair of tissues that have been damaged. Who needs organs? So we've seen recently Cohen Ashton, he's a boy that had cystic fibrosis, and so his lungs eventually failed, and so he needed a lung transplant to enable him to keep living. So there are people with chronic diseases, there are people who've had kidney damage or liver damage that also need an organ. So really there's a whole range of reasons why people might find themselves needing a new kidney or a new liver or a new heart.
This might be a question some kids might ask, but can a child receive an organ from an adult, or can a child only receive one from another child?
No, look, size is important, so particularly in lungs, then it really needs to be equivalent. So yes, you can't put big lungs into a small child or small lungs into a big person, so there is a matching that goes on. With other organs, not quite so critical, and in fact the liver can be divided in half, or sometimes a parent can give a part of their liver to their child. So there's lots of ways and there's lots of flexibility about organs.
So it might be a scary thought for some people, becoming an organ donor. What would you say?
Well, what we say is have the chat that saves lives. Talk about it, think about it, find out about it. So we say discover, decide, discuss. So discover all the facts, find out all about it, decide, and then talk with your family about it. And from the age of 16, you can actually register your decision on the Australian Organ Donor Register. So really talking to families and round the kitchen table or wherever it might be, it's something not to be frightened of, to have the conversation, because then we know, and your family knows, what your wish is. One organ donor can actually save the lives or support the life of up to 10 people by an organ donation. Yeah.
Is there anything else that kids watching the show can do to support organ donation?
Look, the most important thing is that they feel okay about talking about it, and there's some really good things that you can do at school around exploring it with your teachers, and so I'd say really have that passion of discovery and go and have a look and find out some more about it for yourself. One of the things that isn't well known is that less than 1% of people, so less than 1% of people that die in hospital actually die in the circumstances that enable them to be a donor. So we do need anybody who wants to be a donor to express their wish and to let us know. In a time of crisis, when somebody is in an intensive care unit and the situation is so dire that they may become an organ donor, then families appreciate having had the talk before. So make your wishes known, have the chat, and then it's more straightforward for families if the terrible circumstance arises. Across Australia last year there were 391 organ donors, and that helped 1,122 people have a transplant. That's a lot better than it used to be, but we've still got a long way to go, and we can do better in Australia.